Tensions in West Asia remain high as Iran makes another attempt to revive stalled negotiations with the United States of America, sending a fresh proposal through Pakistan, which has been acting as a mediator between the two sides. And according to Iran's state-run agency, IRNA, the document was formally handed over in Islamabad, signaling Tehran's continued push for a diplomatic resolution even as mistrust deepens and earlier talks collapse. And at the heart of Iran's latest proposal is a plan to reopen maritime routes through the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz, a waterway that is critical for global energy supplies. However, the proposal notably postpones any substantive discussion of Iran's nuclear program, including concerns over uranium enrichment and its growing stockpile of near bomb-grade material. And this sequencing has raised alarms in Washington, where officials fear that restoring shipping access without securing nuclear concessions could weaken U.S. leverage in future negotiations. And U.S. President Donald Trump responded swiftly and dismissively, stating that he was not satisfied with Iran's offer and indicating that he is unlikely to accept it. Speaking at the White House, Donald Trump said that the proposal included demands that he can't agree to without elaborating further. And his remarks reflect ongoing frustration within the U.S. administration, which views Iran's leadership as divided and difficult to negotiate with. And despite rejecting the plan, back-channel communications between the two countries have continued via phone after Donald Trump cancelled a planned diplomatic visit to Pakistan. And the latest diplomatic setback follows the abrupt collapse of talks in Islamabad, where an Iranian delegation led by Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi left suddenly after presenting an official list of demands concerning both the United States and Israel. And in response, Washington cancelled its own delegation visit, which was to be led by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Senior Advisor Jared Kushner. And the breakdown mirrors an earlier round of negotiations that also failed to produce results, despite prolonged discussions involving senior officials from both the sides. Meanwhile, the broader conflict continues to strain global systems. Although a ceasefire that began in early April has largely halted direct military exchanges, and Iran maintains its control over the Strait of Hormuz while the US Navy enforces a blockade on Iranian oil exports. And this standoff has severely disrupted maritime traffic, with vessel movement through the strait reportedly dropping by over 90% and has contributed to the rising global energy prices and increased fuel costs, particularly in the United States. Additional pressure points continue to emerge across the region, and reports indicate that leftover explosives from earlier strikes killed multiple members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, while Iran's air defenses have been activated in response to the drone activity. Elsewhere, Israel strikes in southern Lebanon have caused civilian casualties despite a ceasefire, underscoring the fragile and volatile nature of the broader regional situation. And on the diplomatic front, skepticism remains widespread. A senior official from the United Arab Emirates has expressed doubts about trusting Iran's unilateral commitments regarding the Strait of Hormuz, highlighting deep-rooted mistrust among regional players. And at the same time, Russia has also engaged in discussions, navigation and nuclear issues, reiterating support for diplomatic efforts in order to stabilize the region. And domestically, Iran is grappling with mounting economic challenges exacerbated by sanctions and conflict-related disruptions. Inflation has also surged, and Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei has called for an economic and cultural battle in order to counter external pressures. Well, in the United States, public opinion appears increasingly wary of the conflict, with a majority of Americans reportedly viewing the use of military force against Iran as a mistake. And despite ongoing proposals and intermittent dialogue, the path to a comprehensive agreement remains uncertain. And with core disagreements unresolved, particularly over nuclear issues and regional security, the situation continues to hover between fragile ceasefire and potential escalation, leaving both the regional stability and global economic conditions in a precarious state. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.